Cooler Master released an RGB version of the MM710 called the MM711. It won't get its own spot on my top mice list because, well, it's an MM710 with RGB. Not enough difference. But if you're choosing between the two, I'll talk about some things to consider. The weight of the MM710 was about 54, maybe 55 grams. That's on my scales with a bit of cable. And the weight of the MM711 is now about 60 grams. It has RGB on the wheel and at the back. They have a diffuser back here to help light the mouse up. It looks pretty cool. And I have to admit, I do like how it looks on the desk. But at the same time, I also recommend getting mice as low weight as possible. So if you're super serious and this is your kind of mouse, get the MM710. If you're only somewhat serious or casual and this is your kind of mouse, get the MM711. If you don't mind paying a bit more anyway. It has a great shape, flexible cable, top optical sensor, pretty low latency, and a really nice wheel. So it is a top recommendation. However, if you want all the details, check out the review of the MM710. I'll just add a note here on quality. The latest batch of the MM710s was quite good. Not perfect, but quite good. And these are almost that. Just some slight creaking on the shell when squeezed. Not something that bothered me in game, or in general use, but it does seem a bit odd that it's a bit worse than the MM710 I got. Hopefully I just got the early batch and that's how it is. They've upgraded the feed too. These are now tapered, as opposed to the flat ones that were fine but gave some people some trouble until worn in. I personally didn't have a problem with the old ones, but these are technically better. And they should be going on the MM710s as well. I don't know when, but at some point they should all have the tapered feet. Or so I'm told. Now in the software, looking at color settings, there's static, color cycle and others. The cycle is too fast in my opinion, even on slow, and on fast it's ridiculous. I think they should slow it right down. Pretty basic settings, but you can play with those. Same sensor, but this one goes all the way to 32,000 dpi now, because bragging rights. And I still don't think button response time does anything, but you can set it to lowest anyway. And that's about it. It's a great mouse, just depends if you want RGB and a bit of extra weight, or no RGB and the lower weight. Hope that helps. Use your links in the description, subscribe and all that, and I'll catch you in the next.